Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 is both a real mouthful to say, and also probably my game of the year. It's been a really pleasant surprise to see the series return to form after those later titles. So since I've been a fan of the series for 20 years now, I've taken to it like a duck to water. But you know what? There's some really hard bits to this game. Like, part of unlocking the hidden character Officer Dick involves getting a sick combo on every level. And a sick combo is where in one combo you get a score that's higher than the sick score goal for that park. So you're looking at scores of 200 to 250,000 points in one combo. Anyway, I'm pretty good at the game. Not world beating of course, but good enough shall we say. And I still find it challenging. I've been seeing plenty of people out there as well on the internet saying they don't know how to combo at all. So I thought I'd make a video about how to put combos together in the hope that it'll help people get these sick combos. Just so you know, before we go in, I'm starting at the very basics here. Like you've never played the Tony Hawk's games before. But I will at least assume you know how to do ollies, kickflips, grabs and grinds and all that. Also, I'll be assuming your skater has high stats. You're going to need them. So go out and collect those stat points floating around the levels, alright? Okay, so my first tip is to get your hands off the analog stick. Completely off. You're using the D-pad from now on, okay? If you want to battle on with the analog controls, be my guest, but you're going to struggle getting some of those moves out. So I strongly recommend you learn to love that D-pad for this game. Okay, so as you probably know, we've got our basic tricks. Kickflips and grabs, which can be done on flat land or, for bigger air, off of a kicker or quarter pipe. And we have grinds. But how do you link them together and turn these separate tricks into a combo? Well, there are moves specifically for that. Let's go through them and learn how they work and how it all goes together. Manuals were the first move introduced into this series in order to link two moves together, and they first turned up in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, and really opened the game up to the combo fiends. They're basically when your skater does a little wheelie on their skateboard, and this is the most basic way to get yourself from trick location A to trick location B without dropping your combo. Now, to do a manual, tap up and then down on the D-pad, or down then up for a nose manual. You can do this as you're on the ground if you like, but the real use of them is as you're just about to land after getting some air, because if you're in the air it means you've probably performed a trick. So now you've either started a combo or you've kept an existing combo going. Now the next thing to worry about then is that balance bar that's just appeared. If you're doing a manual on your back wheels, then if the marker on the meter reaches the bottom, you're going to bail and lose all the points from that combo you're doing. If it reaches the top, then your front wheels will touch the floor and the combo's ending. At least with that one, you'll keep your points earned. This is reversed if you're manualing on your front wheels, a nose manual. But give it a go now. What you want to do is ollie, which is your basic jump, and then practice landing into a manual. Practice doing it at speed. Practice landing into a manual after getting big air. Practice manualing after a flip or a grind, and then practice doing that and ollie out of the manual into another trick, a grind perhaps. See what you can do. The next move you'll learn is the revert, introduced in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. These are performed as you're coming down to land on a quarter pipe, and it looks like the skater is dragging the skateboard around 180 degrees. Now, to do this move, press the right bumper, or R2, as you're about to hit the quarter pipe on the way down. However, this on its own will end your combo, so what you need to do is transition straight into a manual from the revert. And by that I mean you need to be entering the command for the manual as the revert animation is still going through, so right bumper, down up. The revert is by far outside of bails where I most often drop combos. The timing is tricky on both parts of the revert. I fail on the timing on the initial revert, and I fail on the timing on the manual afterwards. So let's practice this. Find a quarter pipe, get up a bit of speed and launch yourself off with an ollie as you reach the top for maximum air. Don't bother with any other tricks, just practice landing that revert, and then when you're happy enough with that timing, add the manual at the end. Once we have this, then we can work on putting it together into a combo. Now I'd recommend at first at least to put it at the beginning of a combo when you have plenty of speed up, but really it's good for any part of a combo. Oh, and they can also be performed coming out of a flip trick, so that's always worth bearing in mind. Great! You know the two most important moves in the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater franchise, manuals and reverts. Practice them, love them, cherish them. They are your bread and butter. But we are not done. There is a small matter of walls. Actually, some of them are pretty large. They get in the way a lot and stop you from going where you want to go. You know, they're walls. But they're also good for combo potential too, with not so much effort thanks to two moves. First, there's wall rides, which have been with us since the first game. You just approach a wall at a bit of an angle, ollie up, and then hit Y or triangle. The skater will then stick all four wheels up and ride that wall down. You can also ollie out of the wall ride as well, meaning played right you can get a fair bit of distance out of it, which means it can be very helpful indeed. Dead easy to do as well, so as with everything else, give it a bit of practice by itself, then try working it into a little combo and go from there. I'm sure you'll have it in no time. If you're riding or grinding directly towards a wall though, that wall ride's not going to work. Instead, you've got the wall plant. It's not a nice bit of greenery, but actually a move added in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, where the skater kicks off the wall. It's also really easy to do. Ollie up, and then hit A if you've got an Xbox pad, or X if you're on the PlayStation 4, as you touch that wall, and boing! Why is this move useful? Well, imagine you're grinding a rail and it leads you towards a wall. You could hit the wall and drop the combo. You could jump off early and see where that new line takes you. Or you could wall plant and then grind off in the opposite direction with a nice speed boost. There are other moves in your arsenal, stuff like spine transfers and acid drops and the like. But the moves I covered, manuals, reverts, wall rides and wall plants, are the ones you want to learn off by heart. Practice until it feels natural. These are the main tools in your combo arsenal. So now we've got the pieces for us to put together into a combo. Let's learn how that combo score is calculated. You see, every trick and move you do has a points score associated with it. Board flips like the kick flip are short and low risk. Grabs are worth more, not only due to their base score, but also because you can get extra points for holding them, which makes them inherently more risky. Grinds as well have a base score and grant extra points the longer the grind. But I would say don't actually worry about how much each move is worth exactly, because what we're going to be doing is concentrating on the number of tricks in your combo. Now, this isn't to say you should just spam kick flips the entire time. A good long risky grab trick will go a long way to setting a good combo score, but generally you want as many tricks as possible. This is because for every trick you add to your combo, it adds 1 to the score multiplier, which is displayed next to the move list at the bottom of the screen, which means a simple combo with a base score of 2000 over 3 tricks becomes 6000 points. So imagine the scores you get for a 25 move combo, right? With all this in mind, what you need for a high scoring combo is a good line through the level that will allow you to put so many tricks together. I'm not going to tell you the correct line to take through each level, because frankly there isn't one. It's up to you to find one that works for you and that plays to your strengths. Generally though, you want to find a line that's repeatable. In other words, a circuit you can go round and around on, or perhaps back and forth. Even if it's just one rail between 2 walls or something, you can always move up to something a bit spicier later. Talking about making things spicier, let's just touch on gaps. Gaps are your friend and should be incorporated into your combos wherever possible. And if you don't know, a gap is generally either a jump between two objects or a grind between 2 points that has been predefined, named and given a score by the developer. Think of them as an extra trick. As I say, each gap has an associated base score and will increase your combo multiplier by 1 just like any other trick. And you can see when you've got one easily enough as they appear in blue on the move list at the bottom of the screen. So when you can, try to incorporate them into your lines. Some are risky, but it's ultimately like free money, and the riskier ones are worth more points. Then, as you get better and more used to making quick moves, you can start sticking extra moves into the spaces. So instead of ollieing into a rail and ollieing off into a manual, you can stick flip tricks in there. So it goes ollie, flip trick, grind, ollie into a flip trick, into a manual at the other end. And then you can add even more. That grind, how about part way through you ollie up off the rail, hit a flip trick, and then land back into another grind on that same rail. By doing this, you're not only adding more points to the base combo score, but also adding to that score multiplier once you cash the combo in. Plus, while you're in the air, you don't have to manage your increasingly erratic balance bar, right? That's smart. And it goes further. Keep your eyes open for opportunities throughout the levels. For example, in Marseille, there's this long rail next to an edge that you can also grind. So instead of just doing one long grind, why not ollie across with a flip trick, grind for a second, then ollie back with another flip trick? Or another option is to tweak your tricks, or at least I'm calling them tweaks as I can't actually remember the proper name for them. Introduce in, I think, Tony Hawk's 4, tweaks are available in manuals, grinds and lip tricks. You perform them simply by pressing any of the 3 face buttons on your controller twice, the ones that aren't ollie anyway. And your skater will tweak themselves into another move, and yet again they have their own base score and will add 1 to the multiplier. So why not just go into a manual then, flatland trick your way into a massive combo? Well, first it'll get harder and harder to balance the longer you're grinding or manualing per combo. Secondly, flatland tricks slow you down until you're stuck spamming tricks on the spot, which technically you can do, I guess, but again that balance bar will get you eventually. Better to keep moving and keep in the air as much as you possibly can. Keep your speed up then, is one of the best tips I can give you. As fast as you feel comfortable is usually better, so you can get some big air. But if you're slowing down, how do you get your speed back? Well, head down a slope is the first answer because, well, you know, gravity. Failing that, jumping in and out of a grind will add a little speed. Getting air in general is good, as are wall rides and wall plants. So basically your normal combo activity. It's forcing you not to rely heavily on the flatland tricks. Just try and keep that in mind. Filling your special meter is important for your speed as well. When your meter is full, the meter will start to tick down and your max speed is increased slightly. Of course, this opens you up to the option of performing special moves as well. And that is an option you'd really want to take, as specials are worth more points. Fit them in wherever you can. You can perform specials with 2 directional inputs and then a button. This is why I tell you to use the D-pad. It just makes it so much easier to perform them. I like to give myself 2 flip specials, 2 grab specials, 2 grind specials, and then 2 flatland specials, and then assign them all to up, down, or down, up, and whichever button. This way, I never have to think about what the combination for each trick is, and I've already got the muscle memory for that movement thanks to all the manuals I do. You know, again though, whatever works for you, experiment, and if you can find something comfortable, you should probably stick with it. What else? Oh yes, put a spin on it. What's better than getting some air with a grab trick? Getting air with a spinning grab trick. even if you don't have the air for a 720 Benihana or whatever, you can often fit in a 180-degree spin. It's all extra points, but remember, if you land sideways, you'll bail, so don't overcommit. Practice until you can feel when a big spin is appropriate. Know when to drop your combo as well. As I mentioned, your balance bars will get twitchier and more erratic the longer the combo goes on. So if you feel like you're going to bail, it's better to end that combo and take the points. You will get better and better at keeping the combos going longer and the balance bars balanced longer, but just don't get cocky about it. And finally, all I've got left to say is, don't be afraid to restart the run. Even when you get really good, it's going to take restart after restart to get that combo just right. After all, those pro skater videos take attempt after attempt to get right. How many times do you think Tony bounced his testicles off that metal bar before getting it right? The answer is a lot. And don't be afraid to walk away. You're never going to get that combo when you're worked up. So instead of getting tilted, move on to another level. Or better yet, turn off the game entirely and take a break. And for now, that's all I've got. If there's something you'd like to add, or you want to tell me how my advice sucks and I'm terrible, then the comment section is down there. Otherwise, I'd love it if you could stick a like on the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you again. Meet you at Carnegie Hall.